Hi, my name is Rasheda, and I met Jesus 4 years ago. I was born in a Muslim home. My family is very staunch, I'd say. My dad is quite staunch. And my earliest childhood memories would be of me going to an Anglican school where we'd say grace and be Our Father, and then rushing back to Muslim school where we'd, at 3 o'clock, where we'd have intense Quran study and Arabic study. Allah was always portrayed as this, this fearsome God, and there was a lot of strongholds and a lot of law, a lot of rules. And my childhood was, the earliest, like teenage years, but there's a lot of questioning, like, is this it? If God's put desires in your heart, do you have to, can you act upon it? And then I got an opportunity to study law at the University of the Western Cape, and the country was in a bit of an upheaval at that time, so there was a lot of rubber bullets, there was a lot of bunking of class and burning books. And then I decided to go overseas, where I went to England, like most South Africans do. I met 10 Italians, they were trance DJs, and I sort of delved into a lot of new age things, and through that sparked an interest for me to go to India, which I did. I studied at the Shivananda ashram in Kerala. A year and 2 months later, I was a yoga teacher. I went to Dharamsala, where I stayed with the Dalai Lama and delved into Buddhism. And still there was a restlessness in me, like through all these, the belief around these religions are that there's peace and there's an awakening and an awareness, but there were still these walls, So I came back home, I went into an ashram where I taught yoga, and I took an oath of brahmacharya, which is 4 years of spiritual celibacy, and I just could not worship an idol. I couldn't worship a Hindu god. So I packed my backpack and I went to Central and South America. And I remember clearly being in Panama with the Kuna Indian tribe. I was doing this intense meditation, and I woke up and I felt something of what God should feel like, but there was still something really missing. I then came back to South Africa, and I met Bas, he's Dutch, and I went to Holland. I then fell pregnant, and I had to come home. And in that broken space, friends of mine who've been praying for me years before when I was in university, they asked me to come to church. And it was amazing. I mean, I remember going to church, thinking, wow, this is a different church. There's no crosses and no popes and things. People dancing and falling around, and but really, really heartfelt worship, and really genuine people. And my very first encounter with Jesus Christ, I remember being in Durbanville, and I had a dream, and Jesus came to me with outstretched arms, and he was holding his hands, and there was blood. And I remember waking up, but not feeling scared or anything, just like an intense sense of peace and protection and love. And the next day, the Sunday, I gave my life to the Lord. And that was my very, very first memory of freedom from Islam and from Buddhism and from Hinduism, all these religions that I sort of delved into, because that was a declaration of my love and devotion to Jesus Christ and to my Christian path. If the Muslim community finds out that I'm Christian, I'd be ostracized, because I am a kafir, according to them. I'm a murtad, which means that I've turned my back on the faith, and that I should be spat upon, which they physically do. If my parents or my aunts get on a bus and they see me, they're talking about Jesus Christ, it's out in the Muslim world. And I think in my own way, I've been like a little Nicodemus, trying to have two lives, just not openly speaking about it to the Muslim people, and then having my Christian life. So this is very powerful, and this is a huge step of obedience, and this is just for you, God. This is just to glorify you. I know that I'm in a safe place, and I know that I'm serving God, and if I have to pick up my cross and carry it, and I know I'll be tested on this, and if I have to die, then I die, but I'm dying in a good place, and I'm going to heaven. And now as a Christian, I know that my purpose is in Jesus, and I'm here to worship him and to love him, and whatever else, his plans for my life, that's what I'll follow. And other than that, I lay everything down on a daily basis, and just hope that and know that God will come through for me. And I know that his way and his plan for my life is perfect.